Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Conversation with my good self, Lara Akinola. I trust you're all doing well. Come on in, come on in, and let me know where you are joining from and what platform you're joining from. Let me know if you're joining on LinkedIn or my YouTube channel or Facebook. Please leave a comment in the comment section, and don't forget your coffee or your tea or any drink of your choice. So come on in, good people. Yes. Come on in. Who's joining me today? We're going to allow for about 2 minutes for everyone to come on in. And while we are waiting, don't forget to invite another ambitious woman who you know will benefit from this podcast today. Share. Woo, lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. Today we want to talk about habits and really talk about whether your habits are moving you closer to your goals, whether they are aligned with your goals, with your vision, or whether they're sabotaging it. So that is what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be amazing. So come on, invite your friends. Let's wait for a few more people to join us. Yes. And as you're coming in, please just leave a comment in the comment section. You know, I can't see you, but you can see me. So leave a message, leave a comment in the comment section. Enjoy. This is a conversation. This is not a monologue. So I want to see your comments. I want to see your participations in the comment section. Okay. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to read your thoughts rather. I want to read your experiences in terms of habits, because personally, I think habits are one of those things that we don't talk about often enough. Very underrated, but they're powerful. They form us. They are responsible for most of what happens in terms of our experiences, in terms of our challenges, in terms of our wins, our goals, our achievements. Okay. So I just think that it's not talked about often enough. And I know that books have been written about it, but even so, I've in my work with women, especially entrepreneurial and professional women in corporate environments, I see that there are subtle things that they do which are directly responsible for the kind of results that they are having in their personal and professional lives, but they're not aware of or they're not paying attention to. And so that is what I want us to kind of excavate today and shine a light on it so that we can all go away and work on our habits, the intentional habits that we are building and the intentional habits that we are eliminating as well, because building good habits to support our goals is good, but also is eliminating the bad habits that are sabotaging our achievements. And the purpose of this podcast today is to really help to see these things, to be able to know them, to be able to identify them, and so that we can work in them. Please let me know where you are logging in from. I see somebody just coming now. I can't see your faces. You can see my face. So while we're waiting for other people to join us, just write something in the comment section. Yeah, and this is coffee and conversation, but I have a bottle of water. Just bring your drink of choice, okay? Don't worry, I am very, very well caffeinated today. I'm properly caffeinated today, so I can be forgiven for going for a bottle of water just for this period. Right. Did I just see somebody come in? Yeah. Let me also see your name, the city that you are joining me from. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Okay, and let's get to know each other. So this podcast today is going to be educational, it's going to be reflective, and it's going to be transformational. Okay, so get ready. I am going to be talking about, of course, like I said, the topic of today's podcast is about our habits. I'm trying to say, are your habits aligned with your goals, or are they sabotaging them? Okay, so to discuss that, I'm going to be uh, I'm going to be touching on three topics, which are clarity before consistency, systems over willpower, and elimination is strategy. The fact that elimination is strategy. So we're going to be looking at clarity, because I know that we have all been told we need to be consistent in everything that we do. Yeah, but we're going to be looking at clarity before consistency, why clarity is important before we get consistent. And then we're going to talk about systems, why systems are important over just willpower alone. And finally, we're going to be talking about the elimination strategy, which I'm going to be sharing with you. So stay to the very end. And yeah, so let's get on with it. Because many people think that their problem is inconsistency. I've had this in my work with business women and professional women. I've heard it so many times in so many variations that, oh, if I could just be consistent with one thing. In fact, they will go as far as saying, if I just pick one thing to be consistent on, which I agree with. Don't get me wrong. I agree with consistency. But what if inconsistency is not the problem? What if the real problem is that they are being consistent with the wrong habits? What if you are consistent with the wrong habits, that the things that you are doing? Because it's not just about being consistent. If you are consistently wrong, you'll be consistently going in the wrong direction, far away from your goal. And then you'll be telling yourself, but I am very consistent, but I'm very hardworking, but I apply myself, but why am I not getting the desired results? So pause and think about that for a second. Because every result in your life and business is connected to a pattern. It's connected to a pattern. The question is not whether you have habits. The question is, are your habits building the future you want? The things that you are doing habitually, are they building the future you want, or are they reinforcing the life that you want to escape? So that is why I said we need to get clear first. Clarity is very, very, very important before we begin to talk about consistency. I don't want you to be consistent with something that is sabotaging your goals, that is draining your energy, that is not moving you close enough to what you want to achieve. Because what that does is that it will drain your energy. It will drain your motivation. It will deplete it will demotivate. Not only will it demotivate you, it will actually discourage you, because then you think that, oh, I am not getting the result that I need. Maybe this is not working. Maybe I should just give it up. I am hardworking, I'm spending so much money, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm yet not achieving the results that I desire. Pause and get clear on what you are being consistent on, what you're consistently doing. Okay, so I want to ask you some questions just to help you to facilitate. I mean, we only have 1 hour here and we're not going to cover everything, but I'm going to give you some nuggets that I believe that you can go away with and work on You have to work on it. It's not automatic. If you work on it, it will work for you. So answer this first question for me. What habit has contributed most to your success? This is a reflective question, right? Think about it. What habit has contributed most? What have you been doing that has contributed most to your success? Think also about what routine is silently sabotaging your growth. What are you doing routinely that is quietly, silently, subtly sabotaging your control? Because you will find that the habits and the routines and the things that are sabotaging our control, our growth, they're actually really subtle. They're not very obvious, because if they're very obvious, we may have the willpower or the ability or the presence of mind to change them, because it's so obvious. They say, oh, this thing is not working, then let me change it. But think about the routine that is silently sabotaging your growth, that is not allowing you to move towards your goal. I want you also to think about what you do, what your daily actions reveal about your priorities, your daily routine, your daily actions, what you do on a daily basis. What do they reveal about your priorities? Because you can't not have priorities. You have to have what you want to achieve in order of priorities. What do you prioritize? If you say this is what I prioritize, then do your daily habits, do your daily routine support those? Think about that. And the last thing I want you to think about is also, if for example, if someone were to observe your life for like 7 days, they stay with you, maybe like an intern or somebody wants to shadow you, and they observe your life for 7 days, what would they conclude your goals actually are? Because you could be surprised that what they will conclude that your goals are could be different, drastically different to what you thought your goals were. Okay, maybe that's actually a good exercise for us to do. What do you think? Maybe that's a good exercise. Maybe somebody should shadow you for a few days and take notes of the things you do on a daily basis, your habits, your routine, and then they can, and let them give you a feedback in terms of what they feel your goals are, based on the exercise that they've done, based on them shadowing you, following you for 7 days or for 3 days, or however many days, how many days you can allow, and then contrast that with what you have written down as your goals. And I'm curious, maybe you want to come back and share with me what the outcome is. Okay, so let's look at that clarity before consistency. Number one, clarity before consistency, because habits must be tied to identity and vision. Your habits must be tied. You can't have habits just in the abstract, and I will explain myself to you in a minute. Habits must be tied to identity and vision. Here are the principles. Most people attempt to build habits before they define who they are becoming. But without clarity, habits become forced. If you don't get clear on what you want to do and who you are becoming, or who you want to become, the habits will become forced, will become superficial. It will become forced. It will be a chore. It will be an effort. Secondly, discipline will become exhausting. It'll become exhausting because you are putting so much effort. It's a chore. And then thirdly, motivation will become inconsistent. Because remember, I've said it so many times. If you've been following me for some time, you will hear me say that many times, that motivation alone is not important. It fluctuates. But especially if you're trying to form a habit that is not tied to an identity that you're not clear on, you will be inconsistent. Motivation will become inconsistent. And then the last thing is that your goals lose emotional connection. There needs to be an emotional connection to your goals, that you are passionate about it, that you aggressively follow it and you want to deliver it. But if you're not clear on what you even want to do, what these goals are, the habits that you are trying to form, that you can't connect with them. So therefore, consistency without clarity will create a burnout. And that is not what we are trying to achieve. We are not trying to get burnout, okay? We want to ensure that these things, they flow seamlessly, that whoever you're trying to become, in terms of the habits that you're trying to create, in terms of the vision that you have, in terms of the goals that you're trying to achieve, that the habits you are trying to form to create that habit, to so that that habit can be sustained, you need to get that clarity. Because people do not sustain habits that conflict with their identity. You cannot sustain a habit that conflicts with your identity. Say, for example, if you say, I want to become a leader, we're all leaders, but this is a weak example, I know, but just follow me. You say, I want to become a leader, but you constantly avoid difficult conversations, then your habits are contradicting your desired identity. A strong leader is not afraid to confront or to hold difficult conversations. You have to be able to hold difficult conversations with your team, with your whoever you are dealing with your contemporaries, with your clients. There will be times when you need to confront issues that are not necessarily easy to hear, but they are necessary for you to discuss. So a good leader will say, okay, for you to be identified as a good leader, you can't shy away from difficult conversations. Or another example is if you say, oh, I want financial freedom. Who doesn't want financial freedom? I want financial freedom. If you say that you want financial freedom, but you avoid structure, planning, or strategic decisions, then your routines are misaligned with your vision. Your routines are not aligned with your vision. So what I'm trying to say is that whatever identity that you are trying to build, that you're trying to become, that you're trying to hold, you need to form habits that would support that identity. But in order for you to form that habit, you need to get clear on who you want to become. You know how every year we write our goals, or we refine our projections and things like that. We say okay, the identity of my business, for example, in the next quarter is going to be this. And who is the business? You, as the business owner, you are the business. Or if you are in a corporate environment and you are leading a team and you have a projection for the next quarter or for the next year, or whatever the time frame is, that is an identity that you are getting clarity on. And once you get clarity on that, then you need to begin to form habits that will support that identity. Okay, so your habits are evidence of your internal beliefs. Your habits are evidence of your internal beliefs. So let me give you a framework for the identity alignment model now. You have to, like I said, you have to decide, what future are you trying to create? What future are you trying to create? What kind of woman do you want to become? What do you want to be known for? Right? Or what do you want your business to be known for? Get clear on that. Secondly, what should your life look like? You see, this is detailed. This is detailed, but it is necessary. It is important. You have to dig deep. It's a deep dive. You have to be radically, brutally honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, nobody can do it for you. What should your life look like? Say for the duration of that identity that you're trying to create, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, what should your life look like? And then think about what must be true for you to consider your life aligned. Write those things down. What must be true for you? Because you cannot look at what is true for other people and what they're achieving, even if your goals are similar. You have to think about yourself. What is true for you? What must be true for you in order for you to achieve that? Okay. So that is that about clarity. We get clear on what we want to achieve. So the second thing is I've alluded to it, is the identity, who you must become to sustain that vision. So you've got clear on that vision now. You've got clear on that, what that woman looks like, what her life looks like, what her routine looks like. You know what must be true for her, the woman you are becoming. So now, what must what must what you must become? Who must you become rather? Who must you become so that you can sustain that vision? For example, so the vision that you have, maybe it's you decide I'm going to become a strategic woman. I'm going to be so strategic in everything that I do, or I'm going to be a disciplined leader, or I'm going to be emotionally intelligent executive, a healthy entrepreneur, focused visionary. Whatever it is that you want to become, you got clear of it. That is that identity. That is the identity. So if your team looks at you, they think about you, they think about, oh, this woman is a strategic woman, right? She is strategic. It is evidence in the things that she does. So now that you've got clear on who you must become, in order for you to sustain that vision that you have clarified, then you need to think about the daily habits that will support that identity. What are the identity? What are the habits? What are the behavioral routines that will support you being a strategic woman? For example, if the identity that you have come up with is you want to be a strategic woman, a strategic leader, the supporting habits that just one of the supporting habits that you must get comfortable with is planning, weekly planning. So you know how you have your annual planning, and then off of that your quarterly planning, and off of that your monthly planning, and then you have to have a weekly plan. Well, I hope you do anyway, because you can't run a business without having all of that. So you must be willing to have a weekly planning. Why is that? Why must you have a weekly planning? It's because even though you have your annual planning and your quarterly planning, but things change. Okay, there are environmental factors that you're not responsible for that will affect the plans that you have put in place for the month. But on a weekly basis, if you go over it again and revise it, you will be able to adjust accordingly so that you are not knocked out of sync altogether. That is being strategic. That is being, you can't leave things to chance. You can't leave things to, oh, I'll maybe when, no. You have to be able to plan on a weekly basis so that you look at what you can move around. Maybe somebody that you have scheduled to meet with, that you put that in the diary 2 months ago, 1 month ago, and all of a sudden their schedule changed and they've reached out to you to say, okay, can you accommodate this new timeline because their schedule has changed? Your weekly planning will allow for that. Okay, you can go in there and move stuff around and ensure that in that week you are able to hit your target. That is a strategic leader. That is just an example. Or maybe your goal is to be a healthy woman, because a healthy woman is a successful woman. If you're not healthy, both physically and mentally, your business may suffer. Okay, so what are the habits that you must cultivate that will align with and support that identity? You think about your healthy eating, the things that you put in your body, how you move, how you move your body, exercises and things like that. You make sure that you're physically fit. You make sure that you're mentally fit. You read, you study, you ensure that you exercise your mind as well as you exercise your body, that you're physically healthy. You're a healthy entrepreneur. Okay, you are a visionary entrepreneur. You know how to do deep work sessions. So these are just examples, all of this to tell you that you must create habits that support the or aligns with the identity that you have created that you want to be. So if your habits are not aligned with the identity that you want to become, the person that you want to become, or the goals that you want to achieve, then you probably will be moving yourself in the wrong direction or in the opposite direction of what you want to achieve. Okay, so let's do this short exercise, and we'll move on to the second session, which is systems over willpower. Because I know that we've all heard about willpower. Willpower, as good as willpower is, systems. I think systems are better. I want you to complete these statements as we round up this habit segment, this habit alignment segment. The woman I want to become is blank, blank, blank. So fill in the blank. Maybe the woman I want to become is a strategic leader. Fill in the blank. And the habits that support her, that woman, are fill in the blank. Weekly planning, whatever it is, fill in the blanks. And then the habits that contradict her. Think about the habits that contradict her are blank, blank, blank. Again, fill in those blanks. This is really, really important. The person that you want to become, that is the identity. Secondly, the habits that you must cultivate, that you must build to support that identity. And third, the habits that you must eliminate. Okay, so that you don't sabotage that person. Okay, these are really, really important. I hope you're taking notes, and I hope that you're going to go to work on these, because I really do want you to be successful. I am invested in your success. And then answer this question for me. Which version of you are your routines reinforcing on a daily basis? Which version of you are your routines reinforcing on a daily basis? Okay. And this is just a quote for you to take away with, just to remember. Consistency is powerful, but only when you are being consistent in the right direction. Right. The second session is systems over willpower. Structure creates sustainability. Your willpower will not create sustainability. You cannot sustain willpower. I don't care how strong your willpower is. It's not sustainable. It can never be sustainable, because you're human. You're human. You are fallible, right? But if you have a structure in place, if you have a system, something that you have put in place, so regardless of how you feel on a daily basis, you have that structure that is supporting you and helping you to move you towards your goals, towards achieving your goals. Willpower is emotional, but systems are strategic. Willpower is emotional, but systems are strategic. People often fail because they rely on motivation instead of structure. Motivation fluctuates. Remember, I say, I don't think that there is anything I say that doesn't actually include that. Motivation fluctuates. You don't feel the same way every day. It goes up and it goes down. Stress fluctuates. you may be stressed about something today and not stressed about that thing tomorrow. And energy also fluctuates. You are not always as energetic, about something as on a regular basis. But systems reduce dependence on emotion. Oh, I like that. System will reduce your dependence on emotion, because regardless of how you feel, you have that system in place that is helping you. You just need to follow the flow, just follow the structure. Okay, successful people do not rise to the level of their intention. We're all well intended about our goals. We have the good intentions about what we want to achieve, so that you don't necessarily rise to the level of your intentions, good as they are, but they fall to the level of their systems. You don't rise to the level of your intentions, you fall to the level of your systems. Your environment and structure determine behavior more than inspiration does. I know that you've seen so very many people, they come up on online and they have this high energy and wants to motivate you and excite you and hype you up. Trust me, even those people, they don't feel like that on a daily basis. They do not feel like that on a daily basis. Your environment and structure determine behavior more than inspiration does. Your environment and structure. I cannot stress that enough. So let's look at a framework for habit sustainability system. Number one, let's look at environmental design. Your environment either supports or sabotages your goals. I hope you know that by now. The people that you hang around, the environment that you create for yourself, maybe in your office or in your home, wherever you are working, that environment will either support what you're trying to achieve or tank it. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Number one, does your workspace encourage your focus? Does your phone distract you? I know that a lot of us will say, yes, yes, my phone distracts me because notification is going on every second. Bing, 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 bing. Another question is, are your routines structured for success? Again, you need to stop and think about those three questions. Does your workspace encourage focus, or are there distractions? Are you working and your Netflix is on and you're being distracted all the time? Or do you actually have total focus? Does your phone distract you all the time? Or have you, for the period that you need to achieve what you need to achieve, have you muted the notification? And are your routines structured for success? Think about that. Okay, for example, you know you are going to attend a meeting, a very, very important meeting, right? How do you plan ahead? These things sound as if they are not important. They sound really trivial, but they're actually not trivial. There are these little things that build up, okay, to form part of the big things that could either help us to succeed or sabotage what we're trying to achieve. Okay, so you have this meeting, you have this event, and it's very, very important, crucial to your business. um have you planned your outfit ahead? You know that when that day comes, you're going to wake up, get in the shower, you know what you're wearing. You're not just standing there on that day and thinking about, should I wear black or should I wear blue? Okay, are you planning your outfits ahead? For example, blocking focused hours. Like I said, you have deadline for something that you need to achieve. Do you block certain hours just to focus on doing that piece of work? Another thing you may want to consider is meal preparation. If you are like me, I do not like cooking. I mean, I will cook if I have to, but I don't enjoy it. Okay. So maybe meal prepping will help so that you don't spend so many hours trying to cook and starting from beginning or whatever. I mean, kudos to those who enjoy it. Some people actually find it therapeutic, but that's besides the point. The point is we only have 24 hours in a day, and there are things that you need to achieve. So maybe if you do meal prep, it will cut down a few minutes in the day for you to be able to do what you need to do very, very quickly. Another thing you may want to consider is removing distractions. If you are working from home, most of us do these days, you move away from things that could distract you and you stay focused, and just anything that will distract you, remove it. Your phone, your laptop, whatever it is. Your shut down the YouTube or Netflix for the period. And another thing that you may want to consider is automating repetitive tasks. If there are tasks that you do on a repetitive basis, you may want to automate that, like, so that will just do itself. That will just, that's one less thing that you have to do. So that is environmental design. I mean, if you are interested in going deeper with this, just let me know. Send me a message, DM me, or leave a comment, and we can hop on a call and we can talk about how I could support you with this. Another thing that you may want to consider, with the second thing on the framework of habit sustainability system, is behavioral triggers. Habits are easier when attached to existing routines. For example, some of us, when we wake up in the morning, we want to pray, we want to meditate, and you want to do, so you set a time that when I'm praying, this is what I'm doing. I will pray immediately after waking up. I'm going to do. So I've done that, and that is out of the way. I will pray. I will do my meditation immediately when I wake up in the morning. Believe me, this is powerful. If you don't meditate, if you don't set aside a few minutes before you start your day just to center yourself and meditate and pray, I encourage you to start that today. You'll be amazed how powerful that is. That will take you through the rest of the day. Secondly, you while you're having your coffee, you can be journaling. Journaling is another powerful exercise, okay, that will help you with achieving your goal. So while you're having your coffee, you are journaling as well. So you don't have to just sit down, have your coffee, and then go and sit down and do your journaling. Another thing you want to do is review your goals before opening your emails. Oh my God, I cannot stress this enough. Once you begin to open those emails, it's over. It is over. Your day begins then. You can't, because then the emails will be calling you or attracting you or dragging you into other things that you need to do. And by the time you lift up your eyes, it's 12 midday and you haven't even done other things. So you remember how we talked about reviewing your planning every week. Set your goal. I hope you set your goals for the next day. Every day. It's like for today, you set your goals. So this is what I'm going to achieve tomorrow. So review that in the morning before you open your email. Go over your goals. Okay. And another thing is exercise after work. Like I said, you want to be healthy, then move your body. Okay. So doing all this creates behavioral anchoring. And by the time you have been doing it regularly, they have become a habit that you are not forcing. They've almost become second skin, second nature to you. All right. So that is the second thing in the in building a habit sustainability system. And the third thing is strategic scheduling. Strategic scheduling, because what gets scheduled gets executed. What doesn't get scheduled will not necessarily get executed. But when you schedule it, it gets done. I do this by time blocking. Okay. You block again, between this time and this time, this is what I'm doing. Okay. So you do some time blocking. Okay. So you do, another thing I do is theme days. Like on Monday, this is what I'm doing. On Tuesday, this is what I'm doing. On Wednesday, this is what I'm doing. So there are themes for what you want to do, every day. Like if you're, for example, my newsletter goes out every Tuesday, but I like to make sure that they are finished by Sunday. So I know on Sunday, these are the things that I'm doing. On Monday, these are the things I'm doing. I'm going over my content. On Wednesday, I'm recording. On Thursday, I'm editing. So you have your theme for the days, for every day of the week. And once you have that, it helps you to move seamlessly towards your goal. The habits become almost natural, almost second skin to you, and you don't have to force it. And then you do weekly review system. Please review your plans, your schedules every week, so that again, if there's anything you need to adjust, you can adjust them. So these are the things that you can do that will help move you towards your goals without sabotaging what you want to achieve. Right. So let's do this exercise now. I want to ask you, what habits are you currently expecting yourself to maintain without creating a structure for it? Because, sometimes it's easy for us to think, I can do that. I do that, I can do it. I'm not going to create a structure for it. But like I said, you'd be surprised how, if somebody was following you, they will notice, because you're too close to it, you can't notice it. But somebody who is watching you, who is observing you, will be able to notice that, is this even priority to you? So I want you to think about that habit that you're currently expecting yourself to maintain without creating a structure for it. Let's say you decide, oh, I'm going to pay attention to my physical health, like my fitness level. So I'm going to create a habit of going for a walk or going for a jog. So that's a habit that you want to create, but you don't have a structure for it. So that's just an example. I mean, I don't know what your own is, but think about it. And then I want you to identify one habit that you want to sustain, just one, for the rest of this week, or the rest of this quarter, or for the rest of this year. One habit. What one habit do you want to sustain, and what one system do you feel you need to build around that habit so that you can sustain it? A common mistake I've also noticed and I've observed is that most people often overestimate discipline and underestimate structure. Don't get me wrong, we all need to be disciplined. Self-discipline is crucially important, but self-discipline without structure will burn you out really, really quickly. And I've observed that most people, they overestimate discipline. I have to be disciplined, I have to have self-discipline, I have to but they underestimate structure. So the issue is rarely laziness. The issue is rarely that people don't want to be disciplined. The real issue usually are poor systems, decision fatigue, emotional exhaustion, and lack of strategic organization. You need to have these in place. You don't have a good system, good structure in place, and don't have decision fatigue. In fact, if you have a good structure in place, it'll help facilitate a good decision making, right? Because if you don't have a good structure in place, a strong foundation, a strong system in place, you will have decision fatigue inevitably, right? And emotional exhaustion as well. Eventually you'll get, like I said, you get burnout, you get emotionally exhausted, and then there is no strategic organization. So ultimately, you have to have a structure in place. You have to build a system in place. If this is something that you would like to know more about, DM me or comment systems in the comment section, and then we can hop on a call and we can discuss what system you want to build and how I can support you with that. Okay? You do not need more willpower. You only need a better operating system. Willpower alone will not get you anywhere. That's just the truth. You only need a better operating system. Okay, right. So let's talk about, how I said that we must build the right habit that supports the identity or the goal that we're trying to achieve. In the same way, we need to eliminate some habits. Okay, we need to identify the habits that are sabotaging your system, that are rather sabotaging your growth, that are not allowing you to achieve what you need to achieve. Okay, so let's talk about some an elimination strategy, because growth also requires letting go. There are times when you need to let go of some things. You outgrow some aspects of your life. You outgrow some relationships. You outgrow some belief systems, and you need to have an elimination strategy. Every new level of growth demands subtraction. You cannot build a new life while you're protecting every old habit, every old mindset, routine, relationship, and behavior, because strategic growth is as much as about elimination as it is about addition. Okay. Some habits are not dramatic, they are subtle. I've said that earlier on. Okay. They're not dramatic, they're not so obvious, they are subtle. Like constant procrastination. I'll do it when. I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll add it on to my to-do list tomorrow. Or I'll do it when this happened, or I'll go there, or you are constantly procrastinating about something when the time is right. That, oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how much I despise that phrase, when the time is right. When is the time right? When is the time ever right? Okay. That is you just procrastinating, you just self-sabotaging. Just start, just do it imperfectly, right? Because you're never going to get it right the first time anyway. But if you get the boldness to get up and to just start doing it, and you are getting it wrong, you that getting wrong is your feedback. Okay, it's your feedback that you can learn from and to help you to get it right as you go along. So stop procrastinating. Whatever it is that you need to do, get up and do it. Another subtle habit that are sabotaging your success is overcommitting. You just want to do. That's something I used to suffer from. I say yes to everything. I commit myself to everything. It's overcommitting yourself to things. So pay attention to this. Don't overcommit. If you can't say, if you can't do it now, if somebody asks you to attend something or to come to something, I'll give you an example. That there is a particular business group that have been looking forward to join. It's a global movement of business women have been trying to be part of. It's a global movement, and they go from city to city to city to city. And I've been waiting for them to come to at least to come to the UK and to the city where I can attend. I told myself I'll make the sacrifice. I'll go. I want to be in the room with these women. Well, guess what? They are coming to a city not far from me, about 2 hours from me. But unfortunately, it coincides with the date coincides with the date I have something really crucially important doing. Now I have a decision to make. Okay. So I can commit myself to, I'm going to go there, or I'm going to do these things, all these things at the same time. That is overcommitment. I know I will not be able to. I could do it, but it will just, I won't be able to get the desired result that I want. That's what I'm trying to say. Because this place is like that meeting starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. There is no way I'm going to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. And what I need to do here, it will sabotage what I'm trying to achieve here. So in the end, I had to make a choice. So don't commit to everything. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so overcommitment is another thing that sabotages your achievement. Another habit that sabotages your achievement is emotional decision making. You can't make every decision with your emotions. You have to. There is a time where there needs to be a disconnect between your strategic thinking and your heart. Okay, there needs to be there's a time that you need to be. You need to be factual. You need to be objective. If you don't remember anything, remember those two words: factual and objective. If you're making emotional decisions, it's not going to get you very, very far. Another habit is people pleasing. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. I'm a recovering people pleaser because I just want to make everybody happy. We have this savior complex that you just want to you want to save everybody. You want to help everybody, even at your own cost, even at your own peril. Be careful. You can't please everybody. And then when the people that you have stretched yourself ever so thin for, if they don't return the same kind of, or if they don't return the level of gratitude that you expect, you get resentful. But it's not their fault. Okay, it's not their fault. They didn't ask you to make the sacrifice that you made. They just needed whatever it is that they wanted at that time, and you've come forward and you said that you could do it, and they're grateful in that moment, and you just have to leave it there and keep it moving. Okay, so you can't please everybody every time. Think about that. That habit will cripple you. It will cripple your business. It will cripple your goal. Be careful of that. Another habit you want to be careful of is constant comparison. Don't compare yourself with everybody. You can learn from people. You can get inspiration from what they are doing, but you are unique. You are you. Your business is unique, and your business is your business. Okay, even if there is an overlap, the similarity with other people are doing, but you are uniquely different. Don't forget that. Another thing is lack of boundaries. If there are no boundaries, if you don't have boundaries, you can't blame people. You can't even accuse them of doing anything because you don't have boundaries, right? You have to have boundaries in place. Okay. I mean, this is a whole topic all by itself. There are some things that that they're non-negotiable. If you don't accept it, if you don't like it, you have to communicate that very, very clearly, so that people know that this person does not accept this kind of behavior. It's not they're not comfortable with it, and they won't have to bring that to your door, basically. And another thing I want you to pay attention to is perfectionism, especially disguised as excellence. If you, like myself, you buy into excellence, which I do. I like to do things excellently well. And so I want it to be perfect. I want all the T's to be crossed and the I's to be dotted and everything to be okay. That's another dream killer. That's another goal killer, right? It will thank you and sabotage your achievement. It's not always going to be perfect, okay? And all these habits, what they do is they quietly, silently drain your momentum. You find yourself stagnated, right? So let's look at the framework for elimination audit. Let's do an audit. So we want to eliminate what distracts us. Ask yourself, what consumes my attention but contributes nothing to my growth? Like I said, only you can. I mean, maybe you can ask people around you as well, but only you can answer these questions. Like excessive scrolling, like when you wake up in the morning, do you immediately, pick your phone and begin to scroll? Is it excessive scrolling on the phone or on your tablet? Is it constant notifications? Your devices are always pinging, ping, 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 ping. Notifications are coming on, and when they come on, you feel that you have to look at it, you have to address it immediately, or unproductive meetings, for example, meetings about meetings. Oh my goodness, meetings about meetings. I can tell you, I can write a book about that. I can write a book about that, having meetings. Look, not everything you have to meet and discuss about. That is why, planning is really, really, really important. Shell is really, really important. Another thing that consume your attention and contributes very little to your growth is unclear priorities. Like I said, you have to get your priorities clear. Otherwise, you'll be so busy. You will be so busy doing so many things every day, but not achieving a lot. So eliminate the things that distract you, that consumes your attention but contributes nothing or very little to your growth. You also want to eliminate what depletes you. So not just what is not adding anything. That's bad enough. There are other things that depletes you. What consistently drains you emotionally or mentally? What just drains you, like toxic environments or toxic relationships or over explaining yourself? Look, if you said it once, you've said it enough. You don't have to keep over explaining yourself, justifying your existence. Stop over explaining yourself. Okay? That will drain you, that will deplete you. And not just that, the people that you are over explaining yourself to will not respect you. They will not take seriously what you are saying, like your boundaries. If you set your boundaries, you set your boundaries. You don't have to justify that. You don't have to explain that. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Okay? And they just have to accept it or leave it. Another thing that will deplete you is lack of rest. Lack of rest. Listen, I know that you are strong. We like to believe that we are strong, but rest is important. Always rest your body, rest your mind. Crowd some time, maybe once a quarter, just go away without a lot of work or anything like that. Just rest your mind and have enough, minimum of 6 hours sleep a night, every night. Don't joke with that. That's a good habit. Not resting enough is a bad habit that will deplete you. And carrying unnecessary responsibilities. You're not responsible for everybody, like I said. you know Disabuse yourself of this savior complex situation. You can't save everybody. Don't stop carrying unnecessary responsibilities. You are not responsible for everybody. Okay, do what you can and leave what you can't, right? So because these are the habits that you need to eliminate, that are depleting you, that you need to eliminate. So we've identified the things that don't add, the habits that don't add anything to our growth. We eliminate them. We've identified the habits that deplete us. We eliminate them. So let's now eliminate what contradicts. Think about the things that contradict what you want to achieve. What behavior directly conflicts with the future that you say you want? So you want this future. This is the identity that you want, that you've crafted for yourself, that you want to be known by. This is the woman I want to be known as by this time. So what behavior, what habits, what routines directly conflicts with that identity? Identify those things and eliminate them. Like I said, avoiding difficult situations and avoiding difficult decisions, rather. You can't run away from difficult decisions. Sometimes you just need to grit your teeth and do what you need to do. Okay, make difficult decisions. People always tell me, should I do this or should I? And then they're procrastinating. I just said to them, make a decision. Make a decision and stick to it. What if it is the wrong decision? So it is the wrong decision. Just make a decision. If it's the wrong decision, then you know, and then you can course correct. But what if it is the right decision? If you don't know, you will not know if you don't make the decision. Just make it already, right? So that contradicts the person that you want to be. Just do what you need to do and get on with it. Okay? Otherwise, you'll stay stagnant. You stay in the same place. This time next year, we'll still be teaching you about what the habits that contradicts your growth. Come on, man. Come on, woman. Do what you need to do. Another habit you want to pay attention to and eliminate is fear-based procrastination. So you are not making that decision because you are afraid. Eliminate it. Okay, inconsistency, eliminate it. I'm conscious of time, right? So I'm rounding up. Eliminate that as well. Inconsistency. Remember we talked about consistency at the top of this program. Be consistent in the things that move you in the right direction. So I'm not saying don't be consistent at all. That's why I put it here again as habit that we need to eliminate. If you have identified the person that you want to become, you identify the habits that will support that person, that will support that identity. Then if you are not consistent, then if you're not consistent with those habits, that is directly contradicting what you want to achieve. So eliminate that inconsistency. Stop self-sabotaging. Don't do anything that will self-sabotage you. And lastly, lack of preparation. Look, I drive a lot of people mad about I love my spreadsheets. I like to plan everything. And yes, I know I'll be the first person to put my hands up and tell you that I know that things don't always go according to plan and preparation, but at least I'm prepared. I've planned. So if anything happens, that does not agree with my plan, all I'll just need to do is make the adjustment. That's a far cry from somebody who did not even plan at all. You are starting from the beginning. You are starting from the bottom. I'm way ahead of you. Lack of preparation is a bad habit that contradicts the person that you want to become. Okay, eliminate it. So I want you to complete this sentence. To become the next version of myself, I need to stop blank, 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 blank. So fill in the blanks. What do you need to stop to become the next version of yourself? And then also, what are you holding on to at the moment that your next level requires you to release? This another reflective question. Just reflect on the habits, the behaviors, the routines, the people, the belief system, whatever it is that you are holding on to now, that your next level, that identity, that place you are going, requires you to release. Okay. So I've, I've said here, elite performers understand that focus is strategy, boundaries are strategy, rest is strategy, saying no is strategy. No is a full sentence all by itself. Saying no is a strategy, and elimination is a strategy. Remember that growth is not about doing everything. It's more so about doing what matters consistently. You don't have to do everything. It's not about doing everything. It's more so about doing what matters and doing it consistently. Your future is not only shaped by what you start, it is also shaped by what you finally decide to stop, what you finally decide to do away with, what you finally decide to eliminate. Okay. So I want to ask you these questions, okay, as we round up. I want you to again reflect on these things. I mean, I'm asking you if you can join the conversation in the comment section, that would be amazing. But I just want you to reflect on these things. What habits are producing your current reality? Your current reality. Reflect on it, and what habits, what routines, what behaviors are producing your reality at the moment? And what identity are your routines reinforcing? I want you to reflect on that as well. What systems do you need to create? And what must you eliminate in order for you to grow? So I'll say that again. What habits are you producing? What what habits are producing your current reality? What identity are your routines reinforcing? What systems do you need to create? And what must you eliminate in order for you to grow? I want you to pause and reflect on those questions. And I know that it'll help you move closer towards your goals. So I want to challenge you with this three-part strategic habit. Okay. It's a three-part strategic habit audit. Rather, I want you to the three things as you leave this podcast now. I want you to think about one habit you want to build. This is the one habit I want to build, and this is the one system I'm going to create to support that habit, and this is the one behavior that I believe will sabotage the growth. Okay, think about that, and and take that away. So remember that transformation rarely happens through one dramatic decision. It happens through repeated behaviors that align with your vision, with your identity, and your purpose. Your habits are not random, they are strategic, and the quality of your future will largely be determined by what you repeatedly do today. The quality of, listen, this is important. The quality of your future will largely be determined by what you repeatedly do today. Okay. So let me know in the comment section if, or please DM me if this conversation has challenged you. I want you to reflect seriously on whether your life is currently being driven by intentional habits or unconscious patterns. And if you're ready to become more strategic about your growth, leadership, and personal development, connect with me. Let's get to know each other. Okay. Follow my podcast. Follow me on my Instagram. It's at I am Lara Akinola. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Lara Akinola. and follow me on Facebook as well. My Facebook page is Lara Akiola. And if you, I have a, what I've done with this, because it's so important, I've done a workbook, right, that covers most of the things that we've talked about on this podcast today. It's a free download that will help you and guide you to look at the three core things, that your identity will help you to get clear on your vision, and then the habit that you need to build to support that vision, and the system that you need to create and to support to have in place, and the habits that you need to eliminate. Okay, so it's a free workbook. If you are interested in that, just type in the comment section workbook, and I will share the workbook with you. It's a free download, it costs you nothing, but it will support you on your journey. Well, so we've come to the end of this podcast today. I know that um, you have really benefited from it. Share it with the next woman. Share it with another ambitious woman who is trying to get clear on her vision and who is trying to get her habits down. And I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast.